Hey.
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 All right.
How you doing?
Watching. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
How you doing? Well, again, I'm asking people how they're doing, and they can't tell me.
We've been gone so long that you forgot.
I hope you guys are doing great because it is a great day. It's a great day for podcasting, and it's a great day for having my fan on. You mind turning that that sucker off right now? There we go.
It's not a sucker.
Well, it used to be a blower. Now it's not doing much of anything.
It's a quieter.
This is the Wrench Everyday Podcast, and my name is Freddie Hernandez, but you may know me as Tavares. Joining me is my partner in crime and my co-host, my friend, Mr. Andrew Howell.
What's up?
How you doing?
Pretty great. How yourself? How
yourself? How yourself? But how myself? I'll tell you how myself. Well, not too great. I took a little hiatus from making videos and stuff just to take a little bit of time off to do family stuff. We actually went on a little cruise.
Nice. How was the cruise?
I wouldn't know. I got sick for 5 days of it.
Yay.
That's fun. Yeah, for a 7-day cruise, and I got sick for 5 days. So that was just great. But it wasn't like the typical cruise sickness. It wasn't like norovirus or anything.
Right.
I wasn't like in the bathroom the whole time. I just got a fever. I don't know. I probably got a cold from somebody. And
wait, is the only prescription for said fever more cowbell?
There are many prescriptions. That is one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's known in the cold community as a joke. Actually, I think cowbell could have definitely helped me, but we didn't have any on the ship. It was a no cowbell ship.
That's no fun.
Actually, before we talk about that, before we talk about my cars and we talk about your car experience and all that stuff, I think it's time to do a little bit of
renovation,
remodeling, rejuvenation. We're taking this podcast to the spa, and we are, or maybe not. Maybe we are.
We're taking it to the junkyard and we're buying some new pieces, new parts.
We are emerging shiny and chrome. That's what I want to say.
Witness.
Yes, witness us because we're actually going to change the name of the Wrench Everyday Podcast because, well, for a few reasons. Number one, that wrenching every day is, we don't do wrenching on this show, which is...
Wait, we don't?
We don't actually. I haven't, well, we've already done almost 60 episodes and we haven't really picked up a wrench.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's not on brand, is it?
We probably look like a couple of tools.
We probably look like a bunch of a-holes. Yeah, so wrenching every day it's not exactly on brand. Not a lot of people understand. If people are new to it, they don't really get it. So we wanted something a little bit more
on the head,
on the nose, on the internet, as it were. I was going to say but internet works too. So we are going to call it Car Guys Talk, and we are the Car Guys. So it's just
as if we couldn't come up with a more
we could not
concise.
Well, it's concise, but honestly, I don't have the imagination to think of anything else. The smoking tire is great because it's like it's a play on the smoking gun.
Yep.
All that stuff. I am not that smart, so it's like, hey, we're car guys, and we talk. That's what it's gonna be. Well, it's actually gonna be a play on the new channel that we're starting.
Yes.
And this is resurrecting an old video series that I did a million years ago on my channel called Car Guys Watch.
If you like MST3K, riff tracks, that sort of stuff, we're going to try and slip in amongst those guys.
And for those of you who don't know what Andrew just said, it's basically going to be just us watching really bad car movies.
Yeah.
And doing some
commentary,
some commentary and some interesting stuff from a car guy's perspective, but just like it's just gonna be horrible movies.
Yeah, and probably horrible commentary. So come along.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great fun. So that should be coming up maybe in the next month or somewhere thereabouts. But I have actually, if you guys want to recommend us some movies, we're definitely open to it.
But they have to be like bad.
Really
bad.
Like obscure bad. It's not like, I didn't really like the fourth Fast and Furious movie. Like those are like blockbusters that a lot of people like, and they have like some issues with them, but we're talking about bad. Like the first movie I did, actually the only movie I did was a movie called Redline.
Oh, classic.
And it was famous in the fact that during the promotion of said movie, Eddie Griffin crashed an Enzo into a wall in front of everybody. And then he was shaking and he was like, undercover brother can tell jokes and fight crime, but brother can't drive. Like that's verbatim what he said. And it's crazy. So that movie was horrible.
Yes.
It was really, really bad.
But
it was
gloriously horrible.
It was just a complete fever dream, and we're gonna watch more of that. So hopefully you guys like it. We're going to rename the podcast next week.
Yep.
And it's gonna be Car Guys Talk. So it's gonna be CGT. So it's apt, like a Carrera GT.
Oh, I don't know. That was just bad juju there.
Bad juju. Maybe it is, but they also wrecked the Carrera GT in Redline, and if we make the little circle here, it's
Always check your tires, folks, for dry rot.
yeah, sure, but it's gonna be Car Guys Talk, and we're also gonna do Car Guys Watch, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. But my vacation was
Nobody cares about your vacation.
nobody cares about your vacation. That's what you learn on the internet. That's that's great. Well, that's why I didn't do vlogs, and that's why I just kept to myself. I didn't even put out any pictures. Nobody knew where I was.
Five sentence summary of vacation.
I don't know.
One sentence.
The boat was big.
2 sentences.
I got sick.
3 sentences.
It was expensive.
And 5th sentence. To cap it all off.
It was hot. There we go.
Nice.
Yes. So when I came back, I was not really feeling 100%. I was thinking, okay, well, I'll get over it on the trip and then come back and do some videos. And I came home like, I'm like coughing. And I'm a little bit concerned because my right ear has like 30% hearing comparison to my left ear.
Huh?
Yeah, well, I can hear you now. I mean,
Can you hear me now?
I just don't know where you're coming from. Like if I close my eyes and I heard you, like I wouldn't be able to echolocate you like Daredevil.
Like Echo, the dolphin?
Like Echo the dolphin. Yes, like any dolphin actually. They use echolocation sonar and whatnot. So yeah, I'm actually a little bit concerned that I might have permanent hearing damage if there's like an infection, but I don't, whatever, kind of par for the course.
Just spray some brake cleaner in there. You'll be good to go.
Spray some brake cleaner, mix with Windex, and then just root around with a Q-tip. I should be all right.
Yep.
So one good thing that, I wanted to talk about while you're sick. One good thing is that you have some spare time to do stuff, like just to get over the sickness and whatever.
Yeah.
And if you're that special kind of sick that you can still have your cognitive functions and your motor skills and whatnot, you can actually play some video games.
Oh, I feel like it's been a while since you've sat down and played some video games.
It's been a long while. Actually, I was
Wait a
thinking,
second. What if we have Car Guys Talk, Car Guys Watch, and Car Guys Play?
listen, we can have a Car Guys network. We can have a Car Guys cinematic universe if you wanted to.
A CGCMU? CG,
yeah.
CGC.
Okay, yes. Yes, and we can do lots of things. Sure.
Car Guys Cook.
No.
Here's how to do a grilled cheese. All right, thanks for watching. That's the whole series.
There we go. Well, actually, we can cook using cars. So we can. They have that little griller that you put on the muffler griller. Like it uses the exhaust heat, which is like you really have to trust those welds.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're getting a carbon monoxide burger. And
I'm going to pass on that.
You're gonna pass?
Yeah.
I've heard that like steak cooked on a car engine ain't that bad. Like obviously you have to put it in aluminum foil and whatever. You don't just put it straight on the engine. Some people do. Some people are insane. But if you put it in, like you can put vegetables and whatever, and it's actually not that bad because considering it's like
sous vide almost.
Yeah, it's like 200 degrees. 210-ish degrees depending on what car it is. And it's a low pressure, high temperature environment. It's not really that bad. But you just have to make sure you don't get like oil and stuff on it.
Still, I'm not going to trust it.
Okay, well, more steak for me.
I mean, more steak cooked in a car for you.
More steak cooked in a car's
I can do
exhaust.
steak at home.
That is true.
in the kitchen.
Listen, man, not everyone has it. Not everyone is as fortunate as you. Sometimes you just got to make a quick catalytic converter burger. Okay,
A catalytic converter.
catalytic converter. That's right. So while I was sick, I got a chance to get back in the groove with some old games. I started replaying Red Dead Redemption on the Xbox 360, which is not a car game. I think they might have a car at some point.
I don't think there are cars in that game.
There was a car, like you see one, and then they talk about these fancy, horseless carriages or something like that.
Well, that game takes place in the late 1800s, right?
Late 1800s, but there is a car. I know in the beginning cutscene there is a car, but I don't think you can. It's not like a GTA thing where you could just commandeer it.
But the first mass-produced car wasn't until 1893.
There's a car in there. I guarantee you.
I'm just saying, like, it's not super historically accurate.
Yeah, I know. But who cares? It's about like you can also jump your horse off a cliff and it can still survive. So it's not exactly accurate to a lot of things. But
still a really good game.
It's a great game, and I'm very kind of peeved that they never made it for PC, because that could have been a really, really cool thing. If they could have made a PC port or whatever. They're making Red Dead Redemption 2 for, I believe that they might make it for PC. I don't know.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Okay, in any case, I'll just buy whatever console that it comes out on. I have an Xbox One, so
Then you're good.
then I'm good.
You're good.
So that led me to think about video games, not even like new video games, because honestly, I don't really know anything about new video games. You know more about new video games than I do. But video games that kind of like shaped our childhood, with cars. Did you play car video games as a kid?
Nonstop.
So what kind of games did you play?
First car game I ever had was the Lotus racing game for Sega Genesis. It was a Lotus branded racing game for Sega Genesis.
See, that is awesome. I remember when do they still do that? Like, companies still make branded racing games for?
If they do, they're not huge sellers. I want to say,
I think Ford
used to do Ford Racing. Actually, there's Ford Racing. I think it was for PS2. Mm-hmm. Terrible game.
Keep talking. I got something for you.
Okay.
So Ford did one.
Yeah, Ford did one. I'm trying to remember the other games that I had as a kid. But oh man.
All right, so this is
that a Blockbuster case?
It is.
Oh my gosh.
So this is a Blockbuster Video N64 Automobili Lamborghini. I actually bought this when I got my Lamborghini. I thought that
you got to bring that over, and we got to pop that in my N64.
Well, I got an N64 here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I bought one here. But this was sold by Titus. This was actually the first game. I think it was the only game that was officially licensed by Lamborghini, by the company Lamborghini. And they were supposed to call it Lamborghini 64, but then they couldn't get it. I think it was unofficially called Lamborghini 64. Then they couldn't get licensing for that or something, and then they just called it Automobili Lamborghini. And it actually wasn't bad, but I doubt, I don't think that racing games like this, especially on an N64, hold up. Unless it's something like Diddy Kong Racing or Mario Kart or something. These things really, like, if you want to look at when you're supposed to have something that's true to life, and the newest Lamborghini in that game was the Diablo. So this dates it quite a bit, and this is the middle of the Diablo run.
Can I just read the back?
Oh, please do.
Are you ready for the ride of your life? This car circuit racing game will have you driving the car of your dreams, a Lamborghini Diablo. Trade in your Econo car and burn up the fast lane.
Oh, trade in your Econo car, plebs.
You'll have your choice of 4 different race styles,
Mm-hmm.
6 challenging racetracks, manual or automatic transmission, and other options.
Oh
such
yeah,
as
the
pit
Diablo with
stops.
automatic. That's the rarest of the rare.
And other options such as pit stops and multiplayer split screen mode.
Whoa, pit stops. That's the thing I want in racing games.
You know
I want to
what?
be able to stop.
We need to have a championship at this game, and that needs to be the first thing that goes on Car Guys Play.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, this is not a it's not a good looking game, but in terms of N64, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't a horrible looking game. N64 had weird wonky graphics where there's like if you have cartoony things like Legend of Zelda and Mario, like Super Mario 64. It looked great because it fit that aesthetic, but then anytime you tried to do something that looked kind of real to life, it looked so horrible. It looked so bad, and it just looked. I mean, PS1, well, the original PlayStation, when they came out with Gran Turismo, and you had those cars, and then you had high res mode. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
And then it's high res mode, and it was like, did it go up to 640 by 480? That was like unheard of.
I don't remember honestly.
No, it had high res mode, and it was like super high frame rate. Or it was like, I think it was like 60 frames per second or something. It's like, oh my god, this is the future.
It's the pinnacle of racing.
This is crazy. Oh my.
I have Gran Turismo 2 on my PlayStation 1, and I recently tried to get back into it. It is a terrible game. That is just a terrible game.
It's not. Well, I'm not going to say it's a terrible game. It has its flaws because you have to, in order for you to do anything fun in that game, you have to
30 licenses.
You have to, it's insane. You have to do these impossible tasks in order for you to get the licenses. And I think that now they've shied away from that. Like if you want to play Forza, you can just
Jump in and do it.
just do it
do the
and
thing.
play. I mean, you'll start off at the beginning, but you can get like interesting stuff. Like I remember I played Forza 4 or 5, I can't remember what it was. And you start off, you have like a Toyota Yaris, but in like 2 races, you'll have it already turboed, and you'll have it, better tires, and it's going to be decently quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then after an hour of play, you'll have something kind of really interesting.
Yes.
But with Gran Turismo, it's like you can't progress. Like you shall not pass. It's really, really not very forgiving.
One of my other favorite racing games was for the GameCube and PS2, maybe for the Xbox. It was called Auto Modelista, and that game is super sick. It is cell shaded. It looks like a
Yes.
playable manga game.
I remember this. Yes.
I have it still on my GameCube. It is
So what is?
incredible.
Do you make your own car in that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Okay. So Auto Modelista was cool. I remember there was a game that Sega put out in, I think it was either 99 or 2000. It was to coincide with the launch of the PS2 because they still had the Dreamcast out and they wanted to have a Gran Turismo competitor. And it was called Sega GT.
What a great game.
You think it was great?
What a great game.
That game was garbage. That game was really, really bad.
Well, yeah, but it was great.
No, so
The arcade version was really good.
No, I think you're thinking of something else. You're talking about Super GT. So there was. So,
Oh, yeah, you're
yeah.
right.
So
You're right.
the arcade, it was something called Super GT. You got to pick 4 cars. One was a McLaren F1.
Yep.
There was a Ferrari F40, I believe. There was a Porsche 993 Turbo, and then another one. I can't remember what it was.
I think
But
it was Dodge Viper.
yes, probably. And you do all these, like, it was super fast, and you go through, like, you race through airports and
Yeah, it was
aquariums and stuff.
Real spastic.
Yes. But it was a great game. That never came out on any console, by the way. That was only arcade, but there are arcade ports, so you can do emulators. Oh, that's awesome. And have late night YouTube, just wandering around. I've seen that. But overseas they call that game Scud Racer, and they stopped calling it Scud Racer because of the association with Scud missiles.
Yep.
During the
It was Desert Storm.
during Desert Storm. So they just called it Super GT.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I know so much about that game. I think that everybody has that reverence when you go to a arcade and then you see something that goes, what's that? Like you just go like, what is that? It's just so many colors and sounds, and it's so violent. You know, it's like Daytona USA. It's the same thing.
I love that game so much.
So the Sega Saturn is one of the first consoles that I ever had. And
Oh, really? Okay.
Sega Saturn was my first like bought from new console.
Yep.
I remember my dad brought it home, and we didn't know how to hook it up back then. Like you needed to know how to hook things up. And we had like some old TV, and it needed an RF adapter, and then we only had RCAs, and RCAs were too fine for my family, so we had to go back to the store and buy an RF adapter. And I remember I bugged my dad to get it, and it was just. But then it came with the 3-game pack, so it had Virtua Cop, Virtua Fighter 2, and Daytona USA, and I played those games until my fingers bled. They're so good.
For me on Sega Saturn, it was Nights into Dreams and Virtual On.
Virtual On and Nights into Dreams, they used the first iteration of an analog controller.
Yep.
And those were really cool. I mean,
I have both versions of the Saturn controller, both the one that looks kind of like the Genesis controller, and then the round, weird-looking joystick one.
The round one that kind of was a precursor to the Dreamcast controller. Yeah. Really, really cool. And then PlayStation came out with dual analog, and then people were like, "Why would you ever do dual analog?" And now everything's dual analog.
Yep.
And this is a podcast about video games, apparently.
But we're sticking with car-related stuff.
Sure. But Super GT was good in arcades, but
Sega GT.
Sega GT was not good. They had what reminded me of the Automodelista was that they had this function called carrozzeria, and you can make your own car. So imagine like a Gran Turismo, but like you make your car.
That's amazing.
Every single one of the cars I made was undrivable. Like, it was like the worst handling thing. Because apparently, listen, if you have an arcade game where you make your own car, you can get away with it because everything's arcadey, right? If you have a simulator, you are trying to replicate something that has lots of R&D and testing and whatever, and then you're like, you're a 10-year-old, you know? You're like, I don't know anything about camber and
This looks
towing.
cool.
Like, all right, so I give it more power, and then I give it like really short gears, and then like everything was so undrivable.
Whap, 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 whap.
Yeah. I'm going 30 miles an hour. And I didn't understand why, you know. Can you tell me the difference between like this is a 1.5 way differential and this is a 2-way differential, and here's like lockup and like I don't know any of this. I just want to play the game.
I remember Sega GT 2002 that came out. I think it was the launch of the Xbox, the original Xbox.
Oh,
that was a launch title.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was was that the one that had the 350Z? That was like a big deal because the 350Z was coming out, and it was like, which game is going to have the first 350Z in it? And then Sega GT was like,
That may have been it, or it was either that or Project Gotham.
no, it was a 350Z. It was a Sega GT, that definitely. But because it was 2002 and GT and the 350Z came out in 2003. But I think Sega GT original one had the S2000. I think that was kind of the mark car.
No, that was Gran Turismo.
Okay, so that was Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
But Project Gotham was also pretty good.
PGR 3 was my jam on Xbox 360, man. I played that
Whatever
online
happened
so
to those
much.
games? Nothing. They just went off on the waist by the
Yeah, I think they
wayside,
did like PGR up to PGR 5 or something. And then, yeah, they just kind of,
It's weird when you have these really cool franchises and then they just never go anywhere.
yeah, they just disappear.
Can you what's the most like Virtua Fighter? Do they still make Virtua Fighters?
I think so.
Because I think they made like 5 or 6.
I've never really gotten to the fighting games unless it was Soul Calibur. We already discussed Soul Calibur.
I remember them getting like Virtua Fighter used to be like arcadey, and then they said, oh, we're going more for like
More
realism,
technical, yeah.
more realism and simulation. Like you have to have like pixel perfect or like frame perfect moves and stuff. Like why would you want to do this?
I don't know.
So then I don't think it sold very well, and it was just kind of it was good for tournaments and stuff, but whatever. And then Tekken made like a billion games, and
I'm usually really into sim racers, but there was a game that came up for the 360 kind of midway through its life.
was it called Need for Speed Underground 5?
No,
The Streets?
It was called Blur.
Blur.
This game was awesome. So
I have
it
not
had
heard of Blur.
it had real licensed cars, super arcadey, really wild like courses and stuff. But it also had power-ups and weapons. It was super cool. It was kind of like Forza Horizon meets Mario Kart.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to try to look this up. Now, there was a little bit of hoopla about us having some technical difficulties before. And now those technical difficulties are gone because
Supposedly are gone. We're gonna knock on wood.
knock on
there.
wood because I am an idiot and I had the beta version of the. So I had OBS. OBS was the open broadcasting software. That's what we used to record this podcast. And I had version 0.69. So
Okay.
it wasn't even version 1. I have since upgraded to version 21.1.
Oh boy.
So we have gone up in the world.
Yep.
So apparently
We're into whole numbers now.
that's right. So let's see if we can get this to work. What's it called? Blur?
Blur for the Xbox 360.
Okay. I'm just gonna look it up. Blur Gameplay HD, and I'm going to let's see. I don't know if the music is gonna come up. You know what? I can just mute it.
Yeah, just mute the video.
I'll just mute it, and then we'll see if I'll just start playing it, and we will do that, and then we will do that. Wait, full screen. Okay, we'll do that, and then I can just do this. Okay.
Hey, all right, cool.
Look at that.
Nice.
So I hope we don't get pulled off of YouTube for this.
Probably won't.
Yeah, but in any case, I don't know if this is
They do React videos all the time. This is basically a React video now.
sure. And also, I can kind of center this a little bit better, just like that. That's a little better.
It's fine.
And this is my internet being my internet. So this is actually we have licensed cars here.
Yep.
It's actually not bad. It looks very reminiscent of Need for Speed.
A little bit. Yep.
So Need for Speed Underground or something like that. That also was a very,
That was probably one of the most pivotal racing games, not just of our lifetimes, but of just all time.
You know what I didn't like? There was a Need for Speed Underground, the Underground 2, when they had the story mode where you're just like some guy, you're like some scene kid, and it's like you're trying to get the girl, and like I don't need that story.
Wasn't there basically a story mode in the first one?
I think so, but it was since that wasn't an open world. Underground 1.
No.
Underground 2 was open world, and Underground 2 was like it always had some moderately attractive female as a narrator. Like, all right, now you have enough points to go get the blah 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 blah.
Right.
Like, okay, well, can I just do the thing? Like, no, but you need 5 stars to get on the DVD cover. Like, I don't want to put chrome tailpipes on my car. Like, can I just keep it stock? Like, no, you want to be cool. You want to be cool. Like,
Oh boy.
peer pressure.
So yeah,
Can I just enjoy my car? You need nitrous.
this is Blur, and you can see decent looking racing game. And it has,
whoa.
Oh
So-
yeah, so you have power ups, and so these power ups, the heads up display is they basically follow the car.
I like that there's a disembodied rear view mirror right above the car. That's like 3 times the size of the actual car.
Yes.
So you're simultaneously in the car but outside the car at the same time, and there's actually some crash damage, which is kind of cool.
Yep. There's damage.
Whoa, that's violent.
Yes. Very. Yeah. This was a very
It reminds me of Midnight Club a little bit. You ever
a
played
little bit. Oh,
yeah.
of course. And I was about to mention Midnight Club LA that I never really got into, but it looked really good.
Oh yeah.
The customization on Midnight Club LA looked really deep.
So
actually.
this is look the TT just beat the Supra like it owed it money. And
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, well
Whoop,
there
whoop.
you go. That's okay. It's an Audi. It's a Volkswagen Audi Group product. Usually, what happened there? I don't know what happened there. Well, it looks like a pretty good game.
It's a banger. It's fun.
Okay, sounds good. So, and that's for what? Xbox and PS.
I know it's for Xbox 360. I'm not sure what.
Oh,
other
so it's a
system.
360 game. So it's a relatively newer game.
Well, relatively new, but it's probably like 6 or 7 years old at least.
Sure.
Probably more.
What I liked was Hot Pursuit for the remake of Hot Pursuit, also the original Hot Pursuit. You ever played
Need
that?
for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit?
Yeah.
For the PC?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's how I found out about the Ital Design Shigeru, which is like one of the ugliest but coolest cars ever made.
So there was a Need for Speed game that so a lot of people didn't play, but it's kind of a cult favorite now. It's Porsche Unleashed. Mm-hmm. And I used to play it all the time, and it just featured Porsche cars.
Yep.
But it had these weird things like you would have helicopters throwing like flaming barrels at you. It's like
Crazy.
They really want they don't just want to stop you; they want to murder
Kill
you.
you.
They want to murder you. So yeah, that was pretty cool. There's a lot of really interesting games that are
Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 for the GameCube, I think. Was,
that I haven't played,
Oh, man.
but I played Hot Pursuit. Which one is the? I believe it's Hot Pursuit. Xbox 360 one. Was that?
There may have been. I fell off when 360 came around. That was when I had just gotten addicted to the original Forza for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
And so then Forza 2 came out, and so like I just hooked onto that forever.
Right.
And I really haven't touched any other racing games since.
Right. So I want to say it's Hot Pursuit. Like they remade it for the 360. And I remember playing it and having like a Carrera GT with nitrous, and it was just one of those. It was an open world game too, and I remember there was a girl that I was trying to date or something, and I would always talk to her every night, and I would play the game. And for some reason, I always played way better when I'm on the phone because like the part of your brain that needs to focus on the game focuses on the game, and you can go screw off and have a conversation or do whatever, but then you're like you're doing this. It's like driving in real life, and then like you're having a conversation. There's a part of your brain that just splits off and like, all right, you do you.
Yeah, you're just
I
on
do me.
autopilot. Yeah.
Just autopilot. So it was like that with that game, and I remember I always used to beat every race when I'm on the phone with her, just talking about like stupid whatever teenager stuff.
Yeah.
And but whenever I got off the phone, I would suck horribly. I couldn't beat anything, and I would always get caught by the cops. But
Are you talking about Need for Speed Most Wanted?
Most Wanted, there we go. There we go.
With the blue and silver M3.
Yes. Most
Yeah.
Wanted. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going crazy. So, Need for Speed Most Wanted, and that game was great. Honestly, I think we're at a point with graphics that we don't need to really get any better. I don't think that
I want to disagree.
dude. I have Forza Horizon 3
Gross.
on my PC.
Gross.
It is one of the best looking. What do you mean gross?
Gross.
How dare you? How dare you?
Miss me with that Forza Horizon crap. Come over and check out Forza 7.
I'll get it, and I'll blow your little Xbox One out of the water with your.
I don't know if Forza 7 is Forza. I think
Yes.
Forza, you can.
Oh yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have ultra widescreen with my water cooled video card and my 1080 GTX.
Cool.
Yeah,
My
PC
Xbox was $250.
It's great. I mean, Red Ring of Death has to come around sometime.
Not from the Xbox One S.
That's
That
right.
hasn't happened since Xbox 360, man.
It was actually
Come on.
it was crazy how that happened.
It happened to me 7 times. 7 times I sent my
On
Xbox.
the same day, I had
7
7 Red Rings of
7
Death.
times I sent my Xbox to Mexico to get it fixed.
Wow. And you always have to go. So when you had a Red Ring of Death, for those of you who don't know, Xbox had this crazy
Overheating
failure.
issue,
Yeah,
yeah.
overheating issue where they had these things called Red Rings of Death. It would just flash 3 red, like had this little reticule on the front of it, and it just flashed 3 red
Bars,
Bars,
basically.
right.
Yeah.
and that meant that it was dead.
Yep.
And it needed to be replaced. So
There was a fix where you could wrap a towel around it and turn it on.
it was very
It was very temporary.
Yeah,
So
because-
yeah,
well-
I was no stranger to calling 1-800 for my Xbox to just go through the motions. I think I had my serial number memorized at this point.
I love the fact that it was always an Indian call center. I spent a considerable amount of time telling them that my name was indeed not Frabby. Like they called me Frabby for a good portion of the call, and I'm like, Frab, is that a name? Like, did people,
my God.
did people call you that? Like, my name is not Frabby. But after, well, first of all, you have to
Good old Krabby Frabby. I'll tell you
Krabby
what.
Frabby. Yeah. In what universe is that a name? You know, like you go to a gift shop and it says like it has all the license plates and whatever, and like, oh, excuse me,
Where's
I went
Frabby?
to your F section and you got Frank there, you got Fred. What? My name is Frabby, and I believe.
I feel discriminated
Yeah,
against.
I believe that you need to fill this hole in the market here because there's a lot of Frabbies like myself.
There's a Frabby shaped hole in this.
That's a Frabby shaped hole. But man, I remember first of all, they treat you like you're an idiot, like you're a complete idiot. And they go, well, is it plugged into the wall? Like they have to go and
they
these
have to,
steps
yeah,
and whatever. Like,
yeah.
is it plugged into the wall? Like, oh, that was it, guys. Thank you. It wasn't plugged into the wall. Thank you so much.
Yeah, because these 3 red lights are lighting up, even
Yeah.
though the console's not plugged into
I
the
have
wall.
3. Okay, is it plugged in? Like, it'd be concerning if it wasn't. It's like, no, it has. I have. When I did the quickening and all the souls went into my Xbox and I trapped them in there, apparently the red rings prevented them from getting out. Now I'm really scared because this thing, I have opened up. Cthulhu is calling me from my Xbox.
I have opened Pandora's Xbox.
Yes. Can you tell me what page of the Necronomicon I'm supposed to be reading from? Because I'm a little lost in this thing.
Yeah, page 666.
Frabby, I need to check your back of your Xbox and see if the Necronomicon plug is like it was so bad. Okay, let me get off this. Xbox customer support is laughably horrid.
Well, it was. I don't know how it is today, but thankfully I haven't needed it, so
Sure.
knock on wood for that one.
So I mean, one of my friends actually had an Xbox that was Red Ring of Death, and I did a little bit of a scumbag thing to him. But it was. I'm kind of saying it was his fault, and he doesn't watch anything I do, so who cares? So he had an Xbox that had the Red Rings of Death, and he said, "I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just probably going to throw it out because it's not good. Like it's past the warranty." And I go, "I'll take it." And he goes, "Okay." Me knowing full well that Xbox extended their warranty for like 3 years. So that same night, I just called Xbox support, gave them the thing, and I got a new Xbox.
Nice.
So, okay. I mean, listen, I gave that guy every chance. I said, you should call Xbox support, see what they say. You could do all this stuff. I didn't I told him that there was extended warranty, all this stuff, but he was like, whatever, I don't care. And then he just gave me the Xbox, and I got a new Xbox. He ended up getting the black Xbox 360 and the Elite, which also had some problems,
Yep.
I believe. But yeah, that's how. This is what you have to do to get ahead in life. You know, you have to take every opportunity, even if that means getting a free Xbox from your friend that doesn't know that he has an Xbox that's under warranty. In any case, I think we have rambled on for far too long. We need to talk about cars, and we shall do so in the next episode of the podcast, which is not going to be named Wrench Every Day, but it's Wrench Every Day for this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, send us your questions. We like to have a conversation, and it's going to be not only us car guys talk, but it's also us car guys talk to you car guys. And it doesn't have to be car guys; it could be car people.
Car people.
Listen, when I say car guys, I don't mean like necessarily male.
It's a general term.
Look, if both of us were chicks, we'd still be car guys. You know?
I feel like that would be marketed as car girls to
No,
get
but
more views. Should we
Yeah.
show cleavage?
Anyway, so if you'd like to contact us, you can do so at Wrench Every Day.
I wrench every day.
At iwrencheveryday@gmail.com. But I think we should probably change that at some point.
Probably.
We could change that. But at iwrencheveryday@gmail.com, Wrench Every Day at Instagram and Twitter. And we're probably going to change that at some point. So don't go crazy on the mentions. But you can reach me.
I just thought of something on Twitter and Instagram. It's going to be Car Guy Stalk.
Car Guys Stalk. That's right. Or we can just do one for Car Guys Watch, and then we have that. Or we could just be. Is there an at Car Guys?
I'm sure there is.
At the Car Guys?
I'm sure there is. There has to be.
We're gonna check this. We're at the _car _guys with a Z and then like 8569
420.
for you to love. Yes. That's going to be our handle. So you can get at me at The Real Tavares, Instagram and Twitter. Where can they find you?
I can be found on Instagram at Heavy Metal FL and on Twitter at 1565. That's the word 15 and the number 65.
All right. So this is me, Tavares, for Andrew Howell, reminding you guys, should we say wrench every day anymore? Maybe not. How about this? We'll say life is just too short to drive boring cars. Is that all right?
Car guys talk. We're talking.
Bye.